This is a body scan practice, and it'll last for about 30 minutes. So finding yourself a protected space where you'll be free from interruptions, and getting yourself set up ready for the body scan. It's usually done in a lying down position, flat on the back. But if that doesn't work for you, just trusting your own body to know what's the best position to adopt, so perhaps reclining in a comfy chair if that works best for you. You may like to cover yourself over with a blanket for warmth. So just settling now into the posture that you've adopted for this practice. Tuning in first of all to the points of contact between your body and the surface beneath you. So having the legs and feet uncrossed, feet just flopping gently apart from one another. And the arms a little way out from the side of the body, just resting gently. Palms uppermost if that's comfy for you. And as always, having full permission to adjust or refrain from any of the particular suggestions I'm making, if that doesn't work for you and your body. So feeling now this body making contact with the surface beneath you, letting gravity do its job, weight dropping down, no need to hold on to anything, perhaps noticing any areas of residual tension, just letting these go, easing out. And you might like to have your eyes gently closed for this practice. Or you may find you become sleepy and it may support you to keep your eyes open. Remembering that the intention is to be awake, alert and present to your moment-by-moment experience. So as best you can, staying awake and aware of what's happening as the practice unfolds. It may also be helpful just to raise an arm in the air if you notice you're getting too sleepy. And remembering that in making the time to do this practice, you're cultivating the ability to relate to your experience in a rather different way from what's often usual for us. So stepping outside the busyness of everyday life and setting an intention to be with yourself in a way which enables you to notice more fully what goes on for you. And engaging in practice of this kind is therefore an opportunity to take care of yourself. And in developing the capacity to be more aware of what's going on, it lays the foundations for responding more wisely and consciously to life. So the invitation for this practice is therefore simply to notice what your experience is. And as best you can, letting go of judgments or commentary, but rather bringing an attitude of kindly curiosity to whatever you notice, warmly accepting yourself just as you are in these moments. There's nowhere to go and nothing to do. Just being here, open to and with yourself. So bringing attention now to your breathing. Just noticing in-breath and out-breath. No need to change anything. Just choosing to place attention on the act of breathing. Perhaps noticing the flow of air in the nostrils. And movements in the chest. the rib cage and the abdomen even. Coming up close alongside all that's involved, just the detail of breath entering and leaving the body. And tracking attention down the body now, as though we were shining a torch. Shining our torch beam of attention and tracking it all the way down, from movements of the breath in the torso, all the way down the body, down the trunk of the body, past the hips, down both legs, and all the way out to the feet and to the toes. So in your mind's eye, the torch beam lighting up the toes of both feet. Choosing to place your attention here. Noticing the big toes, little toes, toes in between. What sensations are you aware of here just now? Perhaps there's a feeling of socks on skin, or warmth, or coolness. Perhaps you're aware of no sensation and just noticing that. And then shifting to the soles of the feet, taking in the whole of the soles of both feet, so the balls of the feet, the outer edges, softer insteps, around to the heels as well. I was imagining breathing into the soles of the feet. As you breathe in your mind's eye, having breath tracking down into the feet as they're lit up by the spotlight of your attention. And round to the tops of the feet as well. Perhaps aware of the bony structure here and the skin stretched over the top of the feet. Choosing to place your awareness here. Bringing that attitude of kindly curiosity to your experience. Warmly accepting whatever you notice. And tracking a little further up to the ankles themselves. Whole of the ankle joints. Perhaps even sensing inside the joints. Simply being with your own ankles in this moment. And now releasing attention on the ankles and feet and shifting a little further up to the lower legs. So aware of the calf at the back of the leg. Perhaps feeling the contact between the calves and the surface you're resting down onto. And also the length of the shins at the front of the leg. Just alive to any sensations in this part of the body. It's the feeling tone of your own lower legs. And you may notice that your mind has wandered. It's been drawn elsewhere, perhaps to something from the past or the future, some other distraction. And if so, just knowing that's simply what minds do. And the invitation is just to notice, oh, that's where it's gone, and make the choice to bring it back. As best you can without judgment, just noticing that's where my mind has wandered to, and making the choice to come back to your own lower legs. Placing the attention where you choose it to be. And releasing the lower legs, moving up to the knees. Perhaps aware of the firmness of the kneecap at the front. Contrasted with the softness of the crease at the back of the knees. And moving up the legs still further. The whole of the upper legs, the distance from knees up to hips. So the long bones here. The large muscles contained in this part of the body. Tuning into any sensations here. Using the body as an anchor for your attention. Steadying the mind in the body. And shifting on up now to the hips themselves, left hip and right hip. The whole of the pelvic area, including the organs contained inside this part of the body. What's the feeling tone here just now? Simply being with your own body with kindness, just noticing. That's how it is for me just now, warmly accepting any physical sensations you're aware of. It's including the area of the genitals and round to the buttocks as well. Maybe you're aware of weight dropping down to the surface beneath you again here. And noticing too whether you're becoming drowsy and sleepy and how you might like best to support yourself in this. Perhaps raising the eyes or even lifting a hand up. And even just tuning in to the qualities of sleepiness and how that shows up for you. How are you experiencing that in the body? And now tracking our attention a little further up the torso. So moving now to the lower back. An area we can often experience some tightness and tension. And if so, you might like to just invite a sense of easing and soothing your lower back. Really letting go of any residual tension. Using the breath as a means to place your attention. So breathing in your mind's eye, breathing into that lower back area. And then around to the front of the torso. So to the belly or the tummy area. In curiosity to any sensations here. Perhaps there's a feeling of emptiness, or full up perhaps. Maybe there's a softness to your tummy. However it is, simply being with it, just noticing. Using physical sensations in the body as the anchor for your attention. Building the capacity to keep on coming back to this body, to this moment. And shifting on up the body a little further to the front of the rib cage. Perhaps noticing movements here, rise and fall in rhythm with the breath coming and going. And round to the back of the rib cage too. Maybe there are movements discernible here as well. Expansion, contraction. And further up to the top of the back. Sensing the shoulder blades making contact with the surface beneath you. Around to the front of the body once more, to the chest and breast area. Aware of the lungs filling and emptying, the in-breath and the out-breath. Rise and fall. And perhaps aware also that the heart is contained in this part of the body. Just like the breathing, also usually out of our conscious awareness. But doing its job in helping the whole body to breathe. Pumping that oxygen all the way round the body. And the heart is often associated with feeling also. So perhaps taking an opportunity to consciously bring yourself some kindness here. Just a heartfelt sense of being with yourself, accepting your experience just as it is in this moment. And then moving on up the body to the top of the shoulders. Another favourite spot for holding tension, so really releasing, opening those shoulders as wide as can be. And where is your mind now? If it's wandered off again, if it wanders off 100 times, we simply need to bring it back 100 times. It's just what minds do. And noticing that it's gone elsewhere is a moment of mindfulness. It's a waking up to this moment and to what's going on. So congratulating yourself whenever you notice. And then with kindness, just escorting the attention back to this body, to these shoulders. And now we're going to track down the arms, both arms together. So starting with the upper arms, that area from shoulder down to elbow. What sensations are you aware of here? What's the feeling tone? Shining the torch beam of your attention on your own upper arms. And moving down a little further to the elbows, perhaps noticing a boniness at the back of the elbows and a softness on the insides. And then shifting down to the lower arms. Perhaps noticing a difference between the fronts and the backs of the arms. What sensations are you aware of here? And now releasing arms and tuning into wrists, complex wrist joints that allow such a range of movement. Just being with your own wrists in your mind's eye. And then on down to the hands themselves, backs of the hands, palms of the hands. Perhaps you're aware of temperature here. Is there a warmth or a coolness maybe? And then moving down to fingers and thumbs, all the way out to the tips. Perhaps even noticing a coolness in the spaces between the fingers, or a tingling in the fingertips. However it is for you, simply noticing, this is my experience in this moment. Alive, alert, awake and open to whatever unfolds. And then tracking attention all the way back up our arms, past the wrists, past the elbows, across the shoulders once more to the base of the neck. Just tuning in to the front of the neck, sides, the long back of the neck, the vertebrae extending up from the back all the way up to the base of the skull. And then sensing in to your own head, the whole of the scalp area. Maybe aware of the weight of the head dropping down once more. And any sensations in the whole of the scalp area. What are you conscious of in this part of your body? Using your own head as the anchor for your attention in this moment. If thoughts wander off, the invitation is simply to bring them back, bringing them back to physical sensations. And shifting now from the scalp area forwards to the face, starting with the forehead. Another favourite spot for tension, so really loosening the forehead, the opposite of a furrowed brow. Perhaps feeling the width of the forehead. And down to the eyebrows. And further still to the eyes themselves, the eyeballs, the whole of the sockets, the lids, upper and lower lids, even the eyelashes, just choosing to place your awareness in your own eyes. and then to the bridge of the nose, and tracking down the length of the nose all the way to the tip, and out to the nostrils. Perhaps aware of breath coming and going, entering and leaving the nostrils once more. And then out to the cheeks. Perhaps there's a firmness to the cheekbones and softness to the cheeks underneath. Simply exploring your own face in your mind's eye. Perhaps using the breath as a vehicle, breathing into this living, breathing face. And out to the ears. Maybe tracing in your mind's eye the folds, contours of the upper ears, down to the smoothness of the earlobes. And then from both ears, just tracing the outline of the face, the jawbone, all the way down both sides, and meeting at the chin, shining the spotlight of attention on your own chin. And then on up to the mouth, to the lips, very sensitive part of the body. What sensations are you aware of in your own lips? And then turning attention inside your mouth, so becoming aware of teeth and gums, roof of the mouth, tongue. Perhaps there's moisture, maybe dryness. However it is, simply being with sensations inside your own mouth. And then as we head towards the end of the practice, just tracking attention from the mouth back down the throat to movements in the chest again, to awareness of breath coming and going. In breath and out breath, rise and fall. And in your mind's eye, with the in-breath and the out-breath, just imagining breath sweeping down all the way down the legs, down to the toes, and all the way down the arms to the fingers, and all the way up into the head. All the parts of the body we've just scanned around. So on the in-breath, breathing all the way into the body, down to toes, fingers, up into the head. And on the out-breath, the air, the breath sweeping all the way out again. The whole body alive and breathing. So the air could reach all the far points of the body we've just scanned around. Which in a manner of speaking it does, as the heart does its job of circulating the oxygen all the way around the body. Just being with this body, alive and breathing. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. And as we bring this practice to a close, you might like to congratulate yourself for having taken this time to be with yourself in this way, cultivating the capacity to be with your moment-by-moment experience, being awake and alert to life. And perhaps setting an intention, as best you can, to bring moment-by-moment awareness to the next parts of your day. as your experience unfolds.